going on, everyone? Man, that app keeps crashing every time I do a live video, but hope your Wednesday has gone fantastic. It's been kind of a whirlwind day. Getting back into the swing of things really is my Monday because I was gone Monday and Tuesday with the Model 3 hypermile deal. But I wanted to just jump on really quick. I'm sure some of you are probably wondering what happened. You may have seen some articles. I know Inside EVs wrote an article about the Model 3 hypermile, as well as Tesla Roddy. And if you read those articles, you probably saw that I got about 515 miles out of the charge. But there's not a whole lot of details on why I stopped early. So I definitely want to do a video. I want to talk about just kind of summarize the journey, because it was a really cool journey, really fun drive. A boring drive in that I was going 30 miles an hour, but a fun drive in that I got to see a lot of Colorado and Kansas that I've never seen before. So I'll make sure and talk about that in the video. And then I actually got pulled over by a cop as well. So I'll tell you the story behind that. And then I've also got plans with another YouTuber to try and break the 600-mile mark in the Model 3. I think it's totally doable. It just needs some better route planning, because the route that I took was not a good one. And I'll explain in a future video as to why it wasn't a good one. But I've got lunch tomorrow with a fellow YouTuber. Maybe some of you who follow Tesla YouTubers can probably guess who it is, if you know that I live in Denver. So, hey, Mitchell. In fact, put it in the comments if you know which Tesla YouTuber who lives in Denver that I'll be meeting with for lunch tomorrow. So we're going to be planning another hypermile attempt in the Model 3, and I think there's a really good chance that we're going to break the 600 mile, and I would love to break the 1,000-kilometer. Yeah, Mitchell, nice guess. I'm not saying yes or no because I want other people to comment as well. So I really think it's doable to break the 1,000-kilometer mark on a single charge, which would be about 620. Gosh, you guys are good. Nice guess, John. I think it's definitely possible to do the 621 mile or 1,000-kilometer barrier. I think it's totally doable. It just has to be the right route and right terrain, and not rolling hills like I experienced in Kansas. So more to come on that as well, but I definitely want to do a recap video of the hypermile experience. It was grueling, it was brutal, especially driving in the middle of the night, but definitely lots of fun. So gonna do it again here, maybe in a couple of weeks, but just need to iron out some details. So thanks for jumping on, everyone. And the seat comfort was phenomenal. The seat comfort in the Model 3 was just like the Generation 3 Model S and X seats. Surprisingly comfortable. The solar panel did not work. It was kind of going in and out of a charge, and I'm not sure. And then once I plug the iPhone in, you get that little nasty message from iPhone that says this may not be a supported device for charging. So it didn't really work consistently like I had hoped. So I did end up plugging in the phone to the car. I did have some battery banks that I intended on taking. I just ran out of time before I left for the trip to charge them up. So next time around, I'll have a couple of battery banks, power banks, that I can charge my phone from. So the solar panel was not, it did not work like I wanted. It fit perfectly on that flat dash of the Model 3. I think I also want to do a second video review on the Model 3. I did one, I don't know, maybe 2 months ago, but I'd like to do another one because I was just blown away at the forethought that Tesla put into the Model 3. You can really tell that they spent a lot of time thinking about design and not only like hardware, like dash and steering wheel, but also software on the 15-inch screen. It's just phenomenal. Like, I really hope that they put that into the Model S and X. I hope they do a software refresh, because the Model 3 software, user interface, and user design is just I don't know, it's just light years ahead, and you can really tell that that's where the future is at. So thanks everyone for tuning in and jumping on, and happy to answer any other questions. Give you maybe a few more seconds here. I'm at the airport picking up some friends, or waiting until they're ready. But um, yes, yeah, you missed that. I am going to try it again with a fellow Denver YouTuber, and some people have already guessed already. Uh, yeah, definitely Mitchell. So I'll let you guess in the comments which Tesla YouTuber who lives here in Denver. I'm basically giving it away. Um, we're gonna be tag teaming. Where is your car? Like my Model S? My Model S is in at the Tesla service center. There's a whole nother story behind that. Gosh. In fact, I think I've done some videos on this, but I think I've had this. I mean, I'm not complaining. This Model S is 100D. It's all glass roof. It's quite spectacular. Um, it's yeah, lots of good guesses. Um, the windshield is being replaced on my Model S. So it's just been it's been a fiasco. It's been a comedy of errors and mishaps. I've had this car for about a week, so which means they've had my car for about a week, and it's a windshield, right? I mean, you would think that a windshield would be a very quick replacement. Yeah, I love loaners as well. Um, I'm not complaining because this car is fantastic, and I think my wife is pretty convinced that this car is way better, and she wants this one more than more than our current one. So Tesla's strategy for upgrading people, I think, is working pretty well, but it's just not economically feasible. I think at this point, we're using one car. We sold our Subaru. I have a reservation for a Model 3, and all-wheel drive was the thing that I've been waiting for. So, well, yeah, she does have good taste. Car problems, it's got 130,000 miles, so it's got more mileage than most people's Model S's. So, I mean, the windshield is just normal wear and tear. In fact, in Colorado, almost every person's got a crack in their windshield. But I can't it's not safe, and I don't want to drive with it. Um, yeah, it was harsh to do the hypermile by myself. It was doable. In fact, I kind of like so Elon Musk favorited my tweet about the hypermile, and after I saw that, I was like, oh man, I can totally do this. Uh, when you know Elon Musk is watching and following along, at least probably not watching, but following along, it definitely my adrenaline kicked in, and probably from like 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. I was feeling pretty good. I really, really wish that I could have finished it out. But the route that I chose was not a good one. Rolling hills and going up hills really. I was doing really good for a while. In fact, when I tweeted that tweet that Elon responded to or favorited, I was the watt hours per mile was at 120. In fact, if you follow me on Twitter, you'll see that I posted it, and it's the one that has, like, I don't know, maybe hundreds of favorites and some retweets and some responses. But at 120 watt hours per mile, any thought on range on the all-wheel drive for the Model 3, right? I did a video on that one. I think it's going to be 320 miles, around 320 miles. Um, but yeah, the route for the hypermile just was not good, especially towards the end. There were just tons of hills, and it seemed like it was pitch black, so it was really hard to see how big the hills were. But so my watt hours per mile went from 120 to like I think the screenshot after I was finished was like 126 or 127. So it really killed the opportunity to hit 600 miles. Um, and I wasn't planning on stopping in Topeka. I was planning on at least reaching Kansas City at a minimum, and then kind of circling back around to Topeka. So we'll see. I meet up with my fellow Tesla owner friend to strategize on routes tomorrow for lunch, and I think he's got some ideas, and I've got some ideas. We'll see if we can kind of come together and come to an agreement. But I'm pretty confident that 600 miles is easy. It will be easy. Um, 621, I think, is pretty doable. But I'd like to see more than that. How long did it take to hit 600 miles? I actually didn't hit 600 miles on this hypermile. Let me see if I missed a question there. Yes, Pat. I am going to do it again, and I'm going to be partnering with a fellow Tesla YouTuber and Tesla owner here in Denver. So we meet up for lunch tomorrow to strategize. He's talking about doing it not this coming weekend, but the following weekend, like a Saturday and Sunday. So we've got to rent the Model 3 again. I rented this Model 3. Yeah, it was pretty nice to get that coverage. I was actually very surprised. I'm surprised Electric hasn't covered it at all. Fred Lambert, but yeah. So we're gonna rent the Model 3 again. My friend has put her Model 3 up on Turo, and so we'll rent that again. And she's totally cool with it. Oh, really? Lots of channels report on your trip. I haven't been on YouTube. You mean YouTube? E for Electric. Oh, interesting. Cool. E for Electric covered it. Cool. So I just got the text that my friends are ready to be picked up. So thanks for jumping on, everyone, and appreciate everyone's support. It's really cool to kind of engage with you real time. So maybe I should try and do more of this, sort of like in the evenings. It would be really cool to kind of get some real time questions. So yeah, I saw Teslarati. That was the first one, and then I know Inside EVs covered it, but I haven't seen any YouTube videos yet. But hey, thanks again, everyone. Got to run. Have a great evening or a great day wherever you're at, and talk to you soon.